All right, let's talk about the Detroit Lions. This is a team that's obviously been in the news a lot this offseason. They've lost both their coordinators. They've had to make a really healthy amount of moves here. Some kind of big names. DJ Reed looks really good. Some kind of under the radar moves that we've covered that I think really solid, addressing a lot of needs, returning some guys as well. A lot of good stuff in Detroit, but lost in all that hustle and bustle. The Lions over the past couple years, and we're really seeing it come to a head this offseason with this latest news, have pulled off something I think is unprecedented. This is incredible stuff. We'll get to it in just 1 second. This is great news for the Lions, and you Lions fans will love this. But first, I'm Nick, that's Andrew, and this is Saturday Morning Inspection. All right, this time of year, we're talking free agency, we're talking draft across the National Football League. Everyone is focused on what players they can add, what players they can draft to get the team better. But what the Lions have done, and we've seen it come to a head this offseason a little bit, but really it's over the course of the last 3, 4, 5 years, have not just made their team better through free agency and the draft, they've done a great job developing their players in such a way that I think it's, again, like I said in the intro, it's unprecedented stuff. Let's get into the article real quick, and then we'll go into the data on the other side. This is absolutely wild. So first, the article from SI.com. Detroit Lions linebacker Jack Campbell ended the 2024 NFL season as the 10th highest graded player at his position via PFF. According to PFF, after a very disappointing rookie season in which he earned a 52.1 overall grade while getting torched in coverage, Campbell showed significant improvement in year two in the middle of the Lions defense. Every facet of Campbell's game improved in 2024. His overall grade jumped from 52.1 to 78.7. His run defense grade jumped from 75.8 to 82.5, and his tackling grade went from 66.4 to 83.1, wrote Jim Wyman. But perhaps nowhere was more impressive than in coverage, where his grade skyrocketed from 35.3 to 74.2 after he didn't allow a touchdown and broke up 3 passes. Wow. So obviously credit to the Lions coaching staff and Campbell here for making a massive year two leap. But it's even bigger than this. It's not just Jack Campbell. It's literally everybody with the Detroit Lions. This is what they do. This may be their secret sauce. Let's pull up this chart here we put together, and this is really crazy stuff. So this is looking at a lot of the headline players the Lions have drafted that have become really, really stars. If you look at their team, the core of their team of guys they've drafted over the past 3, 4, 5 years or so. And you can see you got on the bottom there, the x-axis, you got Jack Campbell, you got Jamison Williams, you got Jahmyr Gibbs, Brian Branch, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, right? These are just a few. These are some of the 5 big name guys I threw onto this list. And in blue, that you've got their overall PFF grade in their first year, and in red, you have their second year grade. Look at this leap, folks. This is absolutely astronomical. If you see Jamison Williams, just to point this out right here, he's got that asterisk next to it because his rookie year, he was obviously not playing a whole lot of football at that time, dealing with the injuries and that kind of thing. So I'm actually factoring in his second year to third year jump here because rookie year, again, small playing time. I don't really want to count that. It kind of weighs down the numbers there. Everyone else, it's their rookie year and their second year. But look at these numbers. Every single person. Campbell, massive jump. Williams, massive jump. Jahmyr Gibbs, massive jump. Brian Branch, he was already pretty good and then jumped more. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown, his rookie year was outstanding. People forget that. And then, of course, he took it to a whole nother level. In fact, this is what the Lions roster, to a man, to everyone they've drafted over the past 3 or 4 years, really looks like, and it's bonkers stuff. The only exception, and I didn't include it on this chart here, is Sam Laporta, and that's only because Sam Laporta was so darn good his rookie season, he really couldn't jump up very much, right? He kind of just walked in as an all-pro. It's hard to jump up from an all-pro. What are you going to jump up from there? But if you look at all these other key draft picks, guys, both sides of the ball, skill players, linemen, right? Front 7 guys across the board, you're dealing with massive year 1 to year 2 jumps. What is that? That's coaching. That's Campbell. That's all of his assistants. That's not just the coordinators, guys. That's the strength and conditioning staff. That's everyone top to bottom from the organization. That's Holmes and his talent staff evaluating guys that have a lot of potential. This is this marriage between Campbell, Dan Campbell, and Brad Holmes and their staffs working together. This is what the Lions are going to be so good at. They're able to turn third-round guys into all-pros. They're able to turn first-round guys that look like good players into all-pros. They're able to turn everybody into all-pros. Look at these numbers. Look at this chart. It is absolutely bonkers. Detroit fans, if you're concerned about the future after losing your coordinators, don't be, because when you have results like this in terms of player development, your future will always be bright. All right, Mize, that's enough about me on this topic. I know you've got a few thoughts, but first, Lions Nation, your turn now in the comment section below. Of all the year 1 to year 2 jumps, and I've highlighted some of them here, which one among the Detroit Lions are you the most impressed by? Me personally, it's Amon-Ra St. Brown, but some of you guys may have a different guy. Maybe it's Jack Campbell. Maybe it's somebody else. Let us know what one player whose massive year 1 to year 2 jump is really stood out to you. Give us that guy in the comment section below. But Mize, over to you now. What are your thoughts on just this incredible job? I mean, this is crazy stuff here by the Lions.
Yeah, like you said, it's really crazy to look at because even when you look all around this field for the Lions, you look at every aspect of this team. You look at every player. I know you only had so much room to put people on the list, but there's more. Aiden
Yeah,
Hutchinson had a pretty big leap from year one
yeah.
to year two, the 80.7 to a 91 there. So that's like almost an 11-point leap there. Penny Sewell had another big leap there as well. Just it seems like every guy you hear in the league a lot. It used to be the old adage. So there was the sophomore slump. People came out, maybe they sparked a little bit in their rookie year. People weren't ready for them, especially with quarterbacks. They figured them out, and then they had a down year two or something like that. Then they figure it all out, and they pick it back up in year three. The Lions seem to be skipping that one because even when you look at other guys on this team, as far as obviously Jack Campbell is the star here. That's who we're talking about. A guy that it really his jump is so big because how bad he started out in year one. It's incredible how good he got in year two. But you look at guys like Aiden Hutchinson, they keep getting better. It's not like there was some magic sauce and they really put it together in year two and then they stagnate. Aiden Hutchinson got better from year one to year two, then he got even better from year two to year three. Guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown, better from year one to year two, better from year two to year three. Although Amon-Ra is pretty tough, he only went up on 1 point. Still, when you're in the high 90s, that's tough to get any higher than that. So even though we saw some growth out of these players, it shows the Lions have this sauce. They have the player development key down. I think this is what Dan Campbell's been preaching from day one. He wants his guys. He wants the kind of guys that put in the hard work, put in the grit. And when you do that kind of stuff, you stop stagnation. You have constant growth because all these guys are out there constantly getting better. And I think that's what the Lions have been going on. Talks about grit, talks about hard work, talks about determination. That's the kind of players they've targeted through the draft. That's the kind of players they've brought in. We've seen the growth and we've seen the results on the field. Now, this is a team that was, a dream, a hope, a chance. There's a lot of, good feelings, good vibes. Now it is a powerhouse. This is a team that has lots of dominant players. This is a team that is expected to make deep playoff runs now. So we've seen what it's done. The Lions themselves, they've improved every year as a team when it comes to the win column. So I think just everything going on with the Lions here, it makes a whole lot of sense. When you break it down, they've got something special going on here in this player development. Like you said, Ben Johnson, great coordinator. Aaron Glenn, great coordinator. Love you to death, but I don't think that is the key here. I think the players and the players that they selected and the development they have going on, that's the key. And that is why, like you said, Lions fans should not be worried about the future of this team.
And look, we focused here from the year 1 to year 2 jumps, right? And you brought up some other jumps, but it's deeper than that. You look at Malcolm Rodriguez. This is a guy, his rookie year 2022, graded out at 62.8. Last year, 74.4, right? Across the board, even if it's not year 1 to year 2, eventually these guys get it to a man across the board, every level of the defense, every level of the offense. One of the things I'm actually mad at myself for not seeing this earlier, but we get so obsessed with, oh, what player are you adding? What player are you drafting? This team really won the offseason. And we talk about it on this channel all the time, but for some reason, it just never clicked in my head. I'm kind of mad at myself for not doing this with Detroit. But we say, people like to think of players as if it's a Madden video game that, you're rating a 75 or 90 or whatever it is. And that's just what you are. That's not true. These are human beings that get better and sometimes worse across the entire spectrum. Here, the Lions, again, unprecedented fashion. This doesn't happen in the league, folks. It just doesn't happen at this level. Have taken a bunch of players, first round guys, Aiden Hutchinson, right? Obviously, top 5 guy, later round guys, middle round guys, and every single one of them, we're talking 10, 15, 20, 25-point jumps in sustaining that, whether it's year 1 to year 2 or in year 3 or early in their careers, whenever it happens. This is absolutely ridiculous. And to me, this is the secret sauce. This is why the Lions will continue to be contenders. And I don't know exactly who gets all the credit. I honestly think it's a mixture of Holmes and Campbell. This is what they brought together. This is their goal. I think a lot of it's Dan Campbell. I put a little bit more to him, maybe 60-40, but a lot of credit has to be given to Holmes as well. This is a great job by the Lions. And I tell you what, folks, they ain't going away. This is a team that's not going anywhere. If you can develop like this, there's no reason you can't be winning 12, 13, 14 games for years and years to come. This is unheard of stuff in the National Football League and a great sign for the future of Detroit.